The rain fell steady that Thursday evening, drumming against the metal awning of Miller's gas station. Tom Bennett sat in his old Ford pickup, engine idling, watching the storm through rain-streaked windows. At 42, with graying temples and weathered hands, he'd learned that sometimes the best thing you can do is simply pay attention. That's when he saw her, a young woman, maybe 25, sat on the concrete barrier near the air pump. She wore a flowing cream-colored dress now soaked through, her honey-blonde hair plastered to her shoulders. Even from his truck, Tom could see her body shaking with quiet sobs. One hand rested protectively on her rounded belly, clearly pregnant, maybe 6 or 7 months along. Tom hesitated. His daughter Emma was at home, probably doing homework at the kitchen table. He was supposed to pick up milk and be back in 20 minutes. But something in the way this young woman sat there, so alone in the rain, reminded him of someone who'd given up hope. He turned off the engine. Grabbing an old jacket from behind his seat, Tom stepped out into the downpour. His boots splashed through puddles as he approached slowly, not wanting to startle her. "Miss?" he called gently, raising his voice just enough to be heard over the rain. "Are you all right?" She looked up, and Tom saw tear-stained cheeks and red-rimmed eyes that held such profound sadness it made his chest ache. "I'm fine," she whispered, the automatic response of someone who'd forgotten how to ask for help. Tom knew that look. He'd worn it himself 3 years ago, after his wife Sarah passed. When he was trying to raise Emma alone and pretend everything was okay? "Ma'am, forgive me for saying so, but you don't look fine." He held out the jacket. "At least take this. You'll catch your death out here." She stared at the jacket for a long moment, as if kindness itself was something foreign. Then, slowly, she reached out and accepted it, draping it over her shoulders. "Thank you," she said, her voice barely audible. Tom took a careful step closer. "I'm Tom Bennett. I've got a daughter about to turn 13. Single dad doing my best." He paused. "Is there someone I can call for you? Someone who should know you're here?" Fresh tears spilled down her cheeks. "There's no one," she said. "My boyfriend. When I told him about the baby, he said terrible things, called me names, said I trapped him." Her hand moved to her belly again, protective and tender. "He threw me out of the car here an hour ago. Took my phone, my purse, everything." Tom felt anger rise in his chest, but he kept his voice calm. "That's not right." "That's not right at all. I had nowhere else to go," she continued, the words tumbling out now. "My parents, they passed away 2 years ago. Car accident. I don't have siblings, and my friends." She trailed off, looking down. They all sided with him. Said I should have been more careful. The rain continued its steady rhythm. The neon "open" sign cast a soft pink and blue glow across the wet pavement. "What's your name?" Tom asked gently. "Rebecca," she said. "Rebecca Morrison." "Well, Rebecca, I can't leave you here. That's just not something I can do." He gestured toward his truck. "I live about 15 minutes from here. Small house, nothing fancy, but it's warm and dry. My daughter Emma's there. You can use our phone, get cleaned up, have something to eat. No strings, no expectations. Just one human being helping another." Rebecca looked at him with such surprise, as if basic decency was a miracle. I can't impose like that." "It's not imposing if I'm offering," Tom said simply. "Look, I know you don't know me from Adam. I get that. But I'm a father. And if my Emma was ever in trouble like this, I'd hope someone would stop to help her." He pulled out his wallet, showing her his driver's license, and a photo of a smiling girl with braces. "That's Emma, and that's my address right there. You can take a picture of it if you want. Tell someone where you are." "I don't have a phone," Rebecca reminded him, but there was the smallest hint of a smile. "Right. Well, you can use ours." Tom waited, patient. He'd learned patience these past 3 years. Finally, Rebecca nodded. "Okay, thank you. I don't know why you're being so kind, but thank you." The drive to Tom's house was quiet, except for the rhythmic swish of windshield wipers. Rebecca sat wrapped in his jacket, staring out the window at the passing streetlights. "I used to be somebody," she said suddenly, her voice distant. "Before all this, you're still somebody," Tom replied. "You're a woman who's about to be a mother. That's something?" When they pulled into the driveway of a modest single-story home with a small, well-kept yard, Emma was already at the door, peering out anxiously. "Dad, you were gone forever?" She stopped short when she saw Rebecca. "Oh, Emma, this is Miss Rebecca. She's had a rough night and needs our help. Can you grab some of your mom's old clothes from the box in the garage? Maybe those soft ones, the comfortable ones?" Emma, bless her heart, didn't ask questions. She just nodded and ran off. Inside, Tom showed Rebecca to the bathroom, gave her fresh towels, and Emma brought clothes, a pair of maternity sweatpants and a large sweater that Sarah had worn years ago. When Rebecca emerged 20 minutes later, cleaned up and dressed in dry clothes, she looked younger somehow, vulnerable, but with a tiny spark of something that might have been hope. Tom had made tea, the chamomile blend that Sarah used to love, and set out some sandwiches. Emma sat at the table, trying not to stare. "Thank you," Rebecca said again, sitting down carefully. "I feel almost human." "Miss Rebecca," Emma said suddenly, "are you okay? The baby, I mean?" Rebecca smiled, a real smile this time. "The baby's fine. Strong kicks, actually. Won't let me forget she's there." "She?" Emma's eyes lit up. "You know it's a girl." "Found out last week," Rebecca said softly. "Right before." Well, before everything fell apart. They sat together for a while, talking about small things. Emma told Rebecca about her upcoming science fair project. Tom mentioned the hardware store where he worked, how he'd been there for 15 years. Normal things? Human things. As the evening wore on, Rebecca's defenses slowly crumbled. "I need to tell you both something," she said finally. "I haven't been completely honest." Tom set down his tea. "Okay. My full name is Rebecca Morrison. I own Morrison Technologies. It's a software company. We develop security systems for businesses." She laughed, a broken sound. "I'm a millionaire, Tom. Or I was, depending on how the board votes tomorrow. I was supposed to be at a shareholder meeting right now, but instead I was sitting in the rain." Emma's eyes went wide. "You're a CEO?" "I was," Rebecca corrected. "But when you're pregnant and single at 25, suddenly your competence comes into question. My business partner, Derek, the baby's father, he's been..." They talked in his lunch break. She'd fought the board and won, keeping her position as CEO. Derek was no longer with the company. She'd found a support system, a community of other single mothers in business. "But I wanted to ask you something," she said. "I'm starting a foundation. For people who fall through the cracks, women leaving bad situations, single parents who need help, anyone who needs a second chance. I want you to help run it." Tom blinked. "Me? Rebecca, I work at a hardware store. You have something money can't buy. You know how to see people. Really see them. That's what this foundation needs," she smiled. "Plus, the hours are flexible. You'd still have time with Emma." Tom thought about it for exactly 3 seconds. "Okay. Yes." Rebecca's daughter, Grace, was born 6 weeks later. Tom and Emma were there at the hospital, along with Rebecca's new chosen family, a collection of people she'd met through support groups and community organizations. As Tom held tiny Grace, feeling the weight of new life in